In the first pitch of the ball game to Orlando Cabrera, taking high and wide. Cabrera comes in hitting at 233 as the 25-year-old southpaw Clayton Richard will get it and throw it. 2-0 the count. And there's a strike. Oakland comes in at 20-30, hitting at 239 as a club with a 4.48 ERA. And there's strike two.
Looks like Cabrera's been looking for the ball in the entire series. Now he's hit the ball away, but he hasn't hit it with authority.
That ball gets back to the backstop. So a full count. Oakland comes in 9-17 on the road this season. As that ball hit into right center field, Jermaine, he's there, makes the catch, and that is out number one. And here at beautiful U.S. Cellular Field, 330 down the left field line, 335 down the right field line, 375 in the gaps, and 400 straight away center.
Visibility right now is not too good, so you certainly don't want to start walking anybody. And Clayton's had a good slider to left-handers, especially the last three times out.
Adam Kennedy, 0 for 7 in the series, hitting at 360 on the season. Fouls that one back. And that's off the corner. And prior to the game, the White Sox welcomed all Navy personnel and their families to the 24th annual Navy Night, where there were about 100 youngsters inducted into the U.S. Navy. That's the most I've seen. I've seen it. We have it every year, and I've seen every one of them, and that's by far the most we've seen. As the count moves to 4 balls on Kennedy. So he draws the walk. And that'll bring up Jack Cust.
One of the things you didn't want to do, and that still remains to be seen if you will do it, but you didn't want to face Holiday this first inning. He's the man in the on-deck circle, and barring a double play ground ball, you're going to have to see him in the first, and he's the guy in the middle of the lineup that can do you a lot of damage.
Cust, 2 for 7 with a homer, that coming last night. Kennedy just a short lead. As Cust takes strike one. Jack hitting at 251, 8 homers, 28 knocked in. Last year for the A's hit 231, 33 homers, and drove in 77. And there's the strike. So the count 0-2.
I'll throw that good hard slider away. Doesn't have to be a setup pitch. You can just keep it off the plate. You probably strike him out because Jack has an uppercut swing and seems to open up on just about everything.
He gone. Gas.
They threw it by him. Castro wanted it upstairs, and that's exactly where he got it. You see Castro setting up. He wants it high. Clayton threw it by him, and Richard has found another 6-8 inches on that fastball.
Got another gear, hasn't he?
Yes, he has, consistently.
Here's the left fielder, Matt Holliday, 29-year-old, former Rocky. 4 for 9 in the series with a homer and 5 RBIs. A 2-run homer in the opener to account for their runs. And then last night, a bases clearing double. Want to know the count to Holliday. Little tardy right there.
Holliday's a big man, but despite that, he runs real well. So with the infield back at all 4 positions, of course, Konerko has to stay close at first, stop Kennedy from running.
Well, Holliday out of Stillwater, Oklahoma. He was born there, now resides in Cherry Hills Village in Colorado. He's had some big years for the Rockies. And they got him picked off. And the throw, he gone. And that'll do it after a half inning of play. It's the Athletics nothing, and the good guys coming to bat.
Then it's Ramirez at shortstop, Jermaine Dye with a 9-game hitting streak, then Tomey, Konerko, Fields, Anderson, Castro, and Jason Nix hitting ninth and playing second base. The defense. Holiday, Davis, and Cunningham left to right. Davis has great speed, then Crosby, Cabrera, Kennedy, and Giambi. Powell behind the plate, and Josh Outman on the hill. He's 2-0, looking for his first loss of the year. His ERA a touch over 3. This is his 9th start. And the opposition hitting just .201, and that's a good number.
And before we show you our picks to click, you at home select yours as first pitch strike to Scotty Pods leading off. Hitting at .287, no homers. He's driven in 8. He is 1 for 6 in the series. Corners in close. And the count 1-1. Sox come in at 25 and 26, hitting at .255 as a club with a 4.23 ERA. Sox 13 and 11 here at home.
And Outman's a little tough to pick up, I would assume, especially as a left-hander, because he's a short armor. And that means that he doesn't get great extension coming back. You can watch it there, and you see how he kind of doesn't extend that arm. The ball gets on you a little more quickly. And his changeup is his second-best pitch.
That's Blute, Cabrera, and that is out number 1. So with one out, let's check out our picks to click tonight. Jim Angiar, Hall of Fame director and the crew. Well, they went with Josh Fields. Tex, Lisa, and Steve are going to go with Ramon Castro. And my buddies down at New York Jewelers, Sam Rosenwasser, Scott Rosenthal, and Phil Seville. We're going to go with Jason Nix. And, of course, those picks to click brought to you by Southwest Airlines. You can visit southwest.com today.
Before the game, Larry, my Ridgeback, gave me a call and thought that Castro was going to have a big night also.
Did he call you, or did he text you, or did he email you?
Well, he texted me, which is tough with those gigantic paws he has.
So he can't twit?
No, but he can text on occasion. It's a very large keyboard.
Two balls and a strike to Alexei, hitting at .247. 3 homers. He's driven in 23. Alexei 1 for 8 in the series. Well, I know Larry's logic. It has to be a big night for Castro because he's a big man.
He's a very big man. And he also has some tremendous power. And you'd have to figure because he hasn't seen Outman either. might have a big advantage.
That's low. One thing about it, hitting against a short-arming left-hander, as a rule, not always, but as a rule, probably 97-8% of the time, they're about a foot quicker than they look from the side. Backhanded, nice. Can't get him. Cabrera did everything he could.
Well, normally Orlando will cheat to the hole because he doesn't have much of an arm anymore. At that time, he was playing a little more up the middle than he usually does. And you're not going to get Ramirez on this one, not at this stage of Cabrera's career.
I think Cabrera really, the reason he's playing him up the middle is just what we were just talking about. He knows his pitchers, and he knows that right-handed hitters usually are probably a little tardy on Outman, right?
Southwest RoboCam, you see Ramirez beat it by a good step. So we will not be no hit by Josh Outman.
And here's JD, who's on a 9-game hitting streak. Takes down low. Jermaine hitting at 285, 13 homers, 35 knocked in. Third of this 4-game set tomorrow afternoon, the finale. And the count 2-0.
Now Outman is using a semi-slide step. Kurt Young, really the pitching coach, is the unsung hero of not only this organization, but certainly the young pitching staff that they have. Their oldest starter is 25 years old, and we're not going to see him in this series.
JD looking for it on the 2-0 count. Fouls it away. That ball hit hard into center field. Davis going back, looks up. You can put it on the board. Yeah! Make it a 10-game hitting streak, and the Sox lead it 2-0.
That was a no-doubter, and all the speed in the world didn't help Davis on that one because he just ran out of room at the 400 mark. A line drive to straightaway center field, 14 and 37 on the power numbers, and this is a no-doubter. That wasn't even a strike. He got a fastball, he was looking fastball, and he unloads to center field and takes it out.
So here's Tommy. Big Jim 2 for 7 with that big 3-run homer in the opener on Monday. Did not check it up. Outman out of St. Louis. And that breaking ball misses. So that's the 7th home run he's thrown.
I'm sure when Oakland goes back and looks at the tape on that pitch, they'll wonder how J.D. hit it out of the ballpark.
Won't take him long to find out.
Well, he threw a fastball that was up and probably 6 inches off the plate.
Jermaine is a big man who is very strong.
You said, Hawk, that he doesn't use a particularly long bat.
He's a small bat.
Yeah.
He's got long arms. He's a big man. And he's just really strong. There's ball 4. Probably in this league, I'm not talking about the right field now, but the right field to right center for a right-handed hitter, Jermaine probably can hit it as hard as anybody in this league.
Why would a big man, I know he has long arms, I mean, what's the advantage of using a smaller bat, or is it personal preference?
Personal preference, first of all, and then second of all, when you have long arms, guys who use long bats eventually find themselves going to shorter bats. Well, you'll see a lot of youngsters come in with long arms, big hands, using, 36. There's a shot right to Cabrera, and they're going to
I don't know what Jimmy's doing. He wanted to get in a rundown, and Cabrera looked at him like, I just have to throw to first, and you're out. No rundown.
That'll do it, but the 2-run homer by Jermaine Dye. And it's 2-0 Good Guys. Fit from a competitive advantage over the rest of the American League? A, yes, B, no. And just text A or B to 97999 and watch for the results later in the game. Want to know the count to Matt Holliday. He was at the plate when Adam Kennedy was picked off and then gunned down by Konerko.
It looks, Hawk, like Holliday's using a long bat.
Well, getting back to like Jermaine with his long arms has no problems covering the outside part of the plate. The part of the plate he has trouble with sometimes is the inside part. So that being the case, is there's 4 in a row, ball 4. You don't want to do that after you get a quick lead. So watch Jermaine now. He stands fairly close to the plate for a big man. And you see the pitch is outside the zone. But in essence, with that short bat, that's sweet meat for him.
Well, he also gets it around a little more quickly, and he can take that pitch off the plate and hit it out.
But the inside pitch is another issue. If he's using a long bat there, one of the biggest guys to ever play and hit in the American League, of course, is there as ball 1 now. Castro's going to go out. Was Big Frank Howard. And for him, he used a 36-inch bat, which was short for him because he was so big. You see a lot of little guys using longer bats, guys with shorter arms.
Well, I have an 11 sleeve length, so I would use a tremendously long bat.
You used a paddle. You needed a paddle. That is grounded foul by Giambi. Hitting at .218, 6 homers. He's driven in 23. Jason, 1 for 6. Now, Holliday looks like he has maybe a 35-inch bat, but you'll notice he stands off the plate. There's the strike, and the count 1-2.
Well, whatever Castro said to Clayton Richard, it seems to have worked pretty well. He's probably talking to him about staying closed a little longer, because when you don't, you have a hard time with that zone.
That ball hit into left center field. Pides? Yes! I didn't think he was going to get there, but he did. Scotty Pides.
Scotty closed a lot of ground into right center field because Giambi hit that ball hard. He got a fastball up and out over the plate and took it to left center field. And Pides was playing pretty much straightaway left, goes over, cuts across, and right in front of Minnie. He makes the play.
Yeah, Giambi turned around and gave him a couple of looks after that catch.
I don't think he thought it was going to be caught.
No, he didn't. As here's Bobby Crosby, the third baseman. Crosby hitting at .202. 1 homer, he's knocked in 10. Last year, Bobby has really had a chance to have a terrific career. But boy, those injuries have just jumped up and bit him right in the behind.
Well, the oddity is that last year was one of the few years where he spent it mostly healthy. He had 1 hamstring problem, and that was it. But you're right, in the majority of his career, he's had some terrible injuries and put him on the shelf for a long time.
Now is that straight back?
He lost his starting shortstop job when they brought in Orlando Cabrera, and he's been pretty much used as a swingman on this team.
And there's a strike. Well, his first full year in Oakland, he had 22 homers, hit .239, drove in 64. He's got a real good finish with his swing. There's a pitch right there that would really behoove Clayton Richard to get. Certainly benefit him.
We see Castro wants it up.
Jerry Crawford's not going to give him the inside corner. As we talk about, only about 15 to 20% of the umpires will call the inside corner.
Well, last night, in fact, Castro was talking to Jerry Crawford, who you can't really do a whole lot of arguing with before he asks you to leave. But last night, Vin Mazzaro also walked 3 men in the first 2 innings, and he was able to pitch through it. Clayton is going to have to pitch through it tonight.
Here's the switch hitting catcher, Landon Powell, former #1 draft choice. Last year at Sacramento, hit .230, 15 homers, and drove in 53.
And they told me that he would have been ahead of Suzuki had he been able to stay healthy. But he's had 2 extensive knee surgeries, a reconstruction of the ACL. This is a guy that, as a #1 draft pick, he could pretty much do it all and a switch hitter to boot. But the knee problems have really held him back.
One and one to count. And home plate jumping around on Clayton Richard. Clayton making his 5th start, and this is his 17th appearance.
If you keep this one down and away, you're probably going to get the double play ground ball.
That's chop foul. So 2-2. Sox on this 12-game, 11-day homestand. 4 with these guys, 3 with Cleveland over the weekend, and then 5 starting Monday with the Tigers, as there's a chopper foul.
That was the first good straight change that Clayton has thrown tonight. So when you can get the straight change over, that means you're following through and your mechanics are good. Hopefully this will lead to a little better command in the strike zone, as he had Powell well out in front of that one.
And that's high. So a full count with 1 down. Aaron Cunningham on deck. Ground ball in the hole and into left field. They're going to wave the runner around. So Matt Holliday will score. The leadoff walk comes around and bites Clayton Richard.
RBI number 12 for Powell. There was another straight change, but he got it up. And he was able to take it through the left side. Holliday has as good a speed as anybody on this team and is the best base runner on this team. And he scored without a play.
So here's Cunningham, 23-year-old outfielder, hitting at 107. He is 2 for 8 in this series.
Hey, hot dog, hold this.
And there's a base hit. So JD's going to get it back in, and this game is tied at 2. So both walks have come around across home plate.
First ball fastball, that one right down the middle. And Cunningham drives in only his second run of the year. Don Cooper out there now to talk with Clayton Richard. Look, he said, you can't do anything about what's happened. You're still in a tie game, so concentrate on Davis. Try to get out of this inning. Davis is one of those guys that has a big swing and fancies himself as a power hitter. But he doesn't have a whole lot of power, so he hits too many balls in the air. And that's really held him back despite his great speed.
Well, they're home run hitters, and they're hitters that hit home runs. He's not either one of those categories.
No.
High and wide, ball 1. The home plate continues to jump around. And this is where young pitchers have to learn how to develop plan B. You just can't go out there with plan A all the time, because plan A doesn't work all the time. There's a ball lined hard into left field for a base hit. They're going to hold a runner. So that will load them up.
When you can only get one pitch over the plate, and that pitch is a fastball, you're going to have some problems. So 2 walks, 3 hits. Now you've got to try to double up Cabrera. That's a fastball, and it's out over the plate. Davis wasn't hitting much of anything. Hit that ball hard.
Here's Cabrera. Went out to Jermaine Dye. Clayton throwing a lot of pitches. A lot of pitches. And that's a good play by Josh Fields. Good play, good peg home as they get the force. He wasn't going to get a pair on that one because he was going too hard to his right.
Well, the advantage to this is because it's down the line, it gives Josh actually a pretty good angle to throw home. You see him as he crosses over into foul territory, and he just drops it right over the shoulder of Powell, who doesn't have any speed right now, and also he's nursing a bit of a hamstring problem. That's one of the reasons why they didn't try to score him. So Clayton is 1 out away from getting out of this second inning with the score tied at 2.
Yeah, if that does happen after walking 2 and giving up 3 hits. As Kennedy can't get it, he walked last inning. Well, what makes that a good throw right there by Josh is when you're moving that hard to your right and backhanded it, you got to throw across your body, and he made a perfect peg to Ramon. There's a strike and the count 0-2.
That's the second time this year that Josh Fields has had almost the identical play. Only the first time he had to loop it over the runner's shoulder, and this time he actually had an angle and could get it there. But he's made 2 good plays crossing over into foul territory with the bases loaded.
Kennedy, 33-year-old veteran. And he just did get a piece of that one. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors for them. 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors for our Sox here in just the top of the second inning. And the Sox packed with athletics.
Castro went out to have a word with Clayton Richard. Could very well be that he's looking for that face-high fastball up and out of the zone. Let's see where he sets up.
Reaches out, hooks that. Paulie will take care of this one. So he walks 2 of the first 3 hitters. There's 1 out. Gives up 3 consecutive base hits, only 2 runs. And this game is tied at 2. Two-two tie here in the bottom of the second. 2-run homer by Jermaine Dye in the first. They came right back. They got some help from Clayton with a couple of walks and 3 consecutive hits. And they scored twice. 0-1 the count to Josh Fields. Tries to bunt it.
And that ball actually went off of Powell behind the plate. So Jerry Crawford does what umpires will do, go out, give him a chance to regroup, and spend a little time until Landon Powell is able to shake off the effects of that foul ball.
No balls, 2 strikes. Josh hitting at .238, a couple of homers. He's driven in 20. A little bit high. And that fastball at 95 up and in.
Well, we were told that that's about where he tops out, 95 miles an hour, which is pretty good for a short arm.
Well, if you're throwing 95 for a short armor, and there's a base hit. So the leadoff single by Josh. If you're throwing 95 for a short armor, that would equate probably to about 97 from a guy with a normal delivery.
Well, very similar. I would assume very similar to the way Thornton throws, only because Thornton makes it look effortless that his 97 looks like 100.
Oh, yeah. That's the most effortless 96, 97 occasionally that I've ever seen. Ever. Brian Anderson. He's trying to shake that virus bug that's going around the club.
Well, a whole lot of people have had it, and it just takes a lot out of you, and also takes about 4 or 5 days.
You got Brian in the chest. Change up strike. Brian hitting at .269, a homer. He's driven in 6. And that's pull foul.
We start tonight's action just percentage points in third place. 3.5 games in back of Detroit. And looking up at that board, Detroit is playing Boston, and Boston has got a substantial lead on them. They're leading 4-0. So they lost last night to Boston. Another loss and a Sox win would cut it to 2.5 games.
Right to the third baseman. Crosby sucks it up and rack 'em up. 5-4-3 around the horn. So that's the second double play turn by the A's here in just 2 innings.
It's one of the things that all 3 of these young A's pitchers have that we have seen, and it will hold them in good stead, and that is they can all get 2 outs with 1 pitch because all of them have pretty decent sinkers.
So here is Ramon Castro. Looks at that pitch nicely.
That was a straight change by Outman, and it was a good one, but it just dipped out of the zone.
Fastball. That one at 95. Change up. That one at 82. He's pretty consistent. 82 most of the time, maybe 83.
And with a fastball as good as that one and a good straight change as the second best pitch, all you need is innings under your belt.
And there's a no. Kennedy got him. Good diving stop right there by Adam Kennedy, and that'll retire the side. We'll go to the third, tied at 2. Focuses on Big Jim Thome. The Sox sluggers on another tear over the last 19 games with a .339 average, 15 homers, 18 RBIs, and 15 walks. Thome slammed his 550th career home run on Monday, leading the Sox to a 6-2 victory. Want to know the count to Jack Cust.
This is going to be pitch number 50 for Clayton Richard, and that's not a good total heading into the third inning.
Cust struck out his first trip, and there's a strike. 2-2. We're checking on that as not 15 homers, so he has it's 5 home runs. So a full count, another full count. This will be the 53rd pitch thrown in 2 innings, 2+. He gone.
Clayton throws a high fastball, or just a little above the belt, and you see that big uppercut swing. And Jack Cust is no stranger to the strikeout.
Alexei, nice play. Holiday is retired.
Well, you've got to know who's going up the line, and there is no doubt that Ramirez knows that Holiday and Sweeney, who's not playing, are probably their 2 fastest base runners of the guys who play every day. Now, the fastest guy in the lineup tonight is a center fielder, Davis.
Now, we understand the Atlanta Braves have been active. They have released Tom Glavine, veteran southpaw, and they have acquired, now listen to this, Nate McLouth from Pittsburgh.
That's really amazing when you consider, number one, that everyone thought he was the face of the franchise. But they traded 3 minor leaguers for him. Gorkys Hernandez, their number 4 prospect, is one of them. Charlie Morton, a pitcher who's been in the major leagues, is 2. And then a young left-hander by the name of Jeff Locke. So they used essentially minor league guys to get a terrific center fielder.
1-2 the count to Giambi. We got a ball into deep left center field. Scotty Potts had to go a long way, and he got there. That's shocking to me.
Well, they've got a young guy coming up named Andrew McCutcheon, and they had to make some room for him. Niger Morgan is a very good outfielder, but he's a center fielder, not a left fielder.
Breaking ball. He gone. Couple of strikeouts, 1-2-3 inning. And we'll go to the bottom of the 3rd. First pitch to Jason Nix. Check swing strike on a breaking ball from Josh Outman, 24-year-old southpaw out of St. Louis. Jason 2 for 6 in the series. Comes in hitting at .220. 4 homers. He's driven in 6. Just underneath it, high into center. Davis.
White Sox group and party area outings. It's priority seating for your group of 20 or more fans. You can save $1 to half off each ticket depending on the size of your group in party areas like the fan deck, warning track, or individual game diamond suite. Call 312-674-1000 or visit whitesox.com for more details.
Back to the top of the order, Scotty Pods.
We're going to face another young left-hander tomorrow. That game 105, Brett Anderson against Mark Burley.
That's a little shank right there. Anderson just 21 years old.
He's got a chance to be maybe the best of the bunch. And they've got some good ones.
Now you said yesterday Mazzaro had
I said
a
he had
chance
the
to
I said he had the best stuff of the bunch.
And then the day before, Charlie.
Yes.
Charlie Wilson.
I told you that Cahill had good stuff.
You're right. As that ball into the gap, slicing away from everybody, nobody's going to get it. One hop. So the ground rule double. And that's too bad. If that ball hits the top of that fence and stays in, we're looking at a triple.
Pods hit this ball real well. It's an inside fastball, and he puts a charge into it. Don't forget, he almost took Zach Greinke out of the ballpark in Kansas City. And nobody's been able to do that since last September 2nd. This one hops out of the ballpark. And it's a fifth double.
So here is Alexei. Had an infield single.
Curtis Granderson just broke up Josh Beckett's no-hitter with 2 outs in the 7th inning.
Well, if there's anybody on that ball club that you'd like to see do it, it's Curtis.
It is Curtis. He's a very nice guy, and we will root for him extensively until he comes here for 5 games. And then we're rooting for an 0 for 20.
Hey, hot dog! Holy!
That's downstairs.
Come on, Alexi!
What happened in that Ranger-Yankee game? I heard about it. I didn't see it.
They hit Teixeira a couple times, and then like old school baseball, he went into second base, and he went in real hard. And, of course, they took exception to that because nowadays when you go in hard, they look at you like you're from the Eastern Bloc.
That's popped up right side. Adam Kennedy being called off by Aaron Cunningham makes the catch for out number 2.
I just think that Mark Teixeira got a little tired of getting hit, especially in a game that turned out to be 12-3. So he took his displeasure out the way you do when you're at first base. And the pitcher, you know, is not going to get a chance to go to bat. You try to take out whoever is the pivot man on a double play.
Who was the pitcher?
I think it's 2 different guys that hit him. I don't know who it was.
So here's Jermaine. He hit a bullet out of here right over the center field fence for his 14th homer.
Well, I can tell you that it was Vicente Padilla who started the game, and I'll tell you it's a pretty
Well,
good chance.
that answers it right there.
A pretty good chance at who the guy was who hit him.
That answers.
He
But
will.
you can
throw
book
you.
it down. Oh.
Yeah, he will. He will throw at you in a heartbeat.
Well, I wonder when they're going to start posing some sanctions on Mr. Padilla. I mean, everybody else that hits somebody gets fined and suspended. When they're going to do that with him?
Vicente's been doing that for a while.
That's his MO.
Yeah.
In fact, you put him on the growth chart in the American League for hit batsmen in that respect, and everybody here is going to tell you Vicente Padilla is number 1.
That's exactly right.
I don't recall him, with the exception of one time, getting a suspension. Pods at second, 2 out. And the 2-2 pitch. Boy, there's that good motion on that changeup. Gets him. Nothing across. We'll go to the fourth. 2-2. That's the meal between dinner and breakfast, open till 1 a.m. or later. And of course, that is also one of the favorite eating establishments of Lisa Stone as that ball hit high and deep to left field. Scotty Pies just goes back, looks up, and it is a homer for Bobby Crosby, his second of the season, and the A's lead at 3-2.
Just the 11th run batted in, and Crosby, who's not starting, getting a rare opportunity at third base in this game and making the most of it with a walk and a home run.
Also, at walk, he scored.
Appeared to be a first ball fastball. Not a whole lot on it. And he drove it out of the park.
And that ball hit deep by Powell. And it is 4-2. So 2 pitches thrown, and 2 pitches have left the park here in the top of the fourth.
There was another first ball fastball. Powell now has driven in 2, 13 for the year, and that's his second home run. That ball up and on the inner portion and gone.
Cunningham, 1 for 1, had an RBI single back in the second, so 4-5-0 for the A's, 2-4-0 for our Sox. Could not check it up, and that evens the count at 1. That's a can of corn right there for Brian. 1 out.
Visit WhiteSox.com today to check out the Chicago White Sox Charities online auctions. Unique White Sox memorabilia and experiences will be posted every 2 weeks. Visit WhiteSox.com to place your bid today.
Here's Davis. He ripped a single into left field. There's another single and ripped into left field.
It would appear that the game plan of Oakland is starting to clarify. They're swinging at the first pitch. So it's probably best to throw in just off the outside corner or throw one right under the chin to a couple of these guys to get them off the first pitch.
That is normally the sequence, either or. That used to be the Dodgers' philosophy. If they're going after the first pitch, you either throw it down and away, or you knock them down, one of the two.
Well, whatever it is, you have to get them off the first pitch because right now they're very much geared up for it.
Davis 5 for 7 in stolen bases. A's have 26 in 38 attempts. We have 31 in 48 attempts. Want to know the count to Cabrera. Change up, strike.
Davis has had some monster stolen base years. 57 back in 2004. Now this is in the minor leagues, of course, and he was consistently in the 40s.
Pretty good pitch, didn't get it. He is not going to give the inside or anything close.
Castro wants it inside. Ball's a bit off the corner. But I agree with you. You're not going to get too many strikes in there from Jerry Davis, at least not tonight.
No, Davis has 4 major league home runs.
I don't know if 2 of them were inside the park home runs, but it could very well be that they were. He has blazing speed, and he was with Pittsburgh, he was with San Francisco, now he finds himself with Oakland, and last year he was mostly as a defensive replacement late in the game.
So the count remains 2-1 to Cabrera, who has gone out to right, and then bases loaded, hit a ground ball to the right of Josh Fields, went over and backhanded it, foul ground, and then threw home and forced the runner. You got him? Yeah. Grab some bench.
Well, the one thing that Paul is going to do, unlike most first basemen, if he gets the ball, I don't care how fast the runner is, you're not going to outrun that arm, and he's going to make sure he gets a real good angle because Paul's going to come get the ball. And Davis, trying to just outrun the ball, finds it waiting for him. So a good solid tag by Nix. Look at Paul come on the grass to make sure he gets an angle and makes a perfect throw. Boy, that's textbook.
And there's ball 4. So the 4th walk of the game by Clayton, and that'll bring up Adam Kennedy, who has walked and grounded to first.
Well, this is one of those nights where Clayton just doesn't have it, and he's going to really have to battle.
These are the nights you grow right here.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen veteran pitchers do it and battle, and Clayton just has to work his way through these nights.
Goes through that one. Two out. That ball hit high and deep into center field, but Ryan's got the bead and the ball right in front of the track. That'll retire the side, but lead off back-to-back home runs by Crosby and Powell. They lead it 4-2. Jim Thome leads off here in the bottom of the fourth. First pitch strike, second pitch up, and the count 1-1. Thome drew a walk his first trip. Goes through that one, and the count 1-2. A lot of deception in the motion of Josh Allen. That ball hit high and deep to left field. Holliday back, right in front, jumps and makes the catch. He just missed it. Mercy.
That's the second time in as many nights that Holliday has gone back to the wall. The first one of the more spectacular variety, but this time Jim Thome takes it just about as far as you can take it and keeps it in the ballpark. So he hits this ball hard, but Holliday at 6'4" has room, and he's able to make the play.
Well, I will tell you one thing right now. If Jim Thome stays right where he's at right now with that swing, being off the plate a little bit, he's going to have a big, big year for us.
Well, it's pretty tough if he has been taking the inside pitch for a ball. It's then pretty tough to throw the ball away and get it by him because he's seeing it all the way. And pitchers in this league have depended on getting him inside to swing at pitches off the plate. He's not doing that anymore.
There's a strike to Paulie. Count 1-1. Paulie hit a rocket right to Cabrera, who then Jim Thome was trying to deke him out, and they doubled him up. Two and one. They're playing him around to the left. Crosby back and off the line at third. Changeup. This guy's really got a deceptive motion.
Well, he's got a really good changeup, and that makes that 95er look that much better. His curve and slider, he has both, but they're really his third and fourth pitches. That fastball and straight change are really good.
Well, I've just been watching him. He's throwing everything with the same motion. I mean, you can't pick up the change. You can't pick up the breaking ball. They're all coming off his fastball.
Pretty impressive for a rookie.
Gotta believe it.
Even though he's the second oldest rookie on this team, second oldest starter on this team, he's 24. So you can tell how young that staff is.
There's a line shot. So Paulie has hit it right on the money both times.
Ball gets this fastball down and takes it right back up the middle. This is actually a very good pitch. If you weren't throwing it to a 300 hitter, it'd probably be a better pitch. There's a few home runs standing over there at first base, in excess of 700 between the both of them.
Josh lined a single in the left field his first trip. That's off the glove, off the body.
Well, it was somewhat deceptive as far as Konerko was concerned, because usually if a ball's going to get away from a catcher, if it's going to bounce off his glove, it's not going to go forward. You can see it there. It drops straight down, and Powell doesn't know where it goes. It hits off his mask. He's looking up in the air and then realizes that it trickles out. And unless you're going right away, there's no reason to go after that.
And there's another base hit for Josh. So Jim Angiu and the Crews picked a click. It's 2 for 2. Meanwhile, more importantly, 1 out, 2 aboard, and that'll bring up Ryan Anderson. Ryan hit into a 5-4-3 double play.
Paul went out to have a word with Outman. And he wants to tell him how he wants him to work with Anderson. Of course, from a pitching standpoint here, you want to keep the ball down. You're looking for a ground ball. From Brian's situation, he's looking for something middle in to drive.
There's a breaking ball. Not picked up at all by Brian.
Well, the only thing you could have done with that ball is hit it straight into the ground had you made any contact with it, but that was low and out of the zone.
Beat it right off your left big toe. And that's up high.
Well, Outman's using a slide step. And I'm not sure if he's read the reports or not, but odds are Paul is not going to steal third. So using a slide step in this situation doesn't help him very much.
Two and one to count.
Kind of surprised they haven't motioned to him from the dugout to use a high leg kick. I mean, that's a slide step. The delivery is not quite the same, and you got Paul Konerko at second base. And Brian takes a fastball right down the middle. And I know, Hawk, you're wondering the same thing I'm wondering. What could you be looking for?
We're thinking the same thing.
I mean,
here's the 2-2. So a full count. Last few at-bats Brian has had, he's been very defensive up there, very tentative to play, taking fastballs right there. That's really, when he's swinging the bat decent, that's not his action. I don't know if it's because of that bug. I don't know if it's what it is, but he's been very tentative up there. Brian is not a tentative hitter. Broken bat, and this is going to be another one. No, the throw is wide into the dugout. Well, good job by Josh.
Yeah, you can credit Josh Fields for that run, because he took a run right at Kennedy. And Kennedy didn't appear to like it very much as he upset the timing of the play, and he threw it one hop into the dugout. So Anderson winds up at second, and look at the play at second. Watch Josh Fields. Slow developing play, and Josh goes in real hard. Perfectly clean slide. And we'll take another look at second and watch Josh. He goes in hard. And Kennedy singing soprano.
As Ramon Castro. Kennedy can't be upset at Josh Fields. The only thing he can be upset is himself for making a bad throw.
Exactly right. But it cuts the lead to 1.
Castro with a 0-1 count. And now 0-2. Yeah, that's just good old hard-fashioned baseball right there. A ball and 2 strikes.
I was watching some highlights last night, Hawk, and they had a highlight of Hal McRae going into Willie Randolph at second base. And he took his slide, and then he rolled him actually out towards shortstop. Lou Piniella came in. He was in the outfield, and Billy Martin came out to argue.
Well, Hal McRae was one of the best. As that breaking ball chopped foul, he was one of the best. First of all, he could run a little bit. He was a terrific base runner. Had great instincts. He would get, when he was on first base, he would get a good lead. Not a huge lead, but a good lead, but it was a momentum lead towards second. He'd get a great jump. And I'll tell you what, if you were standing there when he got there, you were in trouble.
This is what happened. He overslid the bag, and then he rolled Randolph, and he took him out. I mean, way out.
Well, I've seen him before take out guys that second and short, and they would land on their head or their shoulders.
Bill Madlock, Hal McRae, Don Baylor, those guys stand out as guys that went in real hard at second base every time. And believe me, it was on the mind of the pivot man.
There's a shot foul. Well, there was one that he was even harder than those three. And those were good ones you just mentioned. And that was Kirk Gibson.
Gibson went in pretty hard,
Gibson
too.
would take you. No, he wouldn't take you in left field. He'd take you into the seats in left field.
Oh, look.
Way back when, the Minnesota Twins had a guy named Bob Allison, who was a former fullback at the University of Kansas, who was 6'4", about 240, and could fly.
Remember him.
He would take you into the left field seats. And that's popped up right side. But we pick up a run because of the good base running by Josh Fields. We go to the fifth, trailing 4-3. And home plate's been jumping around on Clayton Richard all night tonight.
Richard hasn't had the kind of control that he's had the last couple of times out, and tonight he's really got to battle him. Now the Sox within one. It's up to Clayton to slam the door.
He's got the middle of the heart of this Oakland A lineup, and it's pretty dangerous. Cust, Holiday, and Giambi. As Cust, who has struck out twice, just trying to make some contact.
Well, it's not a bad idea, but what he tried to do, I guess because of the location of the pitch, he tried to drag it. There's nobody home on the left-hand side of the infield. And you can see he wanted to push it that way, but the ball was inside, and he just couldn't get the job done.
Another breaking ball, and the count 1-1. 4-6-1 for the A's, 3-6-0 for our Sox. Boy, he will take a rip.
That's how he got to the major leagues. That's why he's here. And it's not for a high batting average. It's because he can hit the ball out of the ballpark.
Little chopper. Well, I'll tell you, if Pest was about 115 years old, that movie, The Natural, would have been dedicated to him. Because if he makes contact, he's got a chance.
He takes a real good swing at it. Uppercut. Typical,
he's fun to watch.
A typical home run hitter swing.
Yeah. He is fun to watch at the plate, especially against a right-hander. So here's Holiday. He has walked, scored, and grounded out to Alexi, who made a good play on him. That's hit pretty hard. Nix makes the play. 2 down.
Comcast and Magnum Insurance present Orgullo Sox Night, Friday, June 5th. Enjoy a pregame concert with the Latino performers, Orgullo, Sox giveaways, and much more. For tickets, call 866-SOX-GAME or visit whitesox.com/Orgullo.
I love it when you say Orgullo.
When is June 5th coming?
There's a breaking ball strike. Is that with lamb and sauce or what?
It certainly is. It's a
Orgullo.
My favorite group.
1-1 to count. Giambi has gone out into left center with Pods. Scotty Pods making a nice catch on him. And struck out swinging on a breaking pitch. 2-1. Clayton dearly needs an easy inning.
Well, you go 1, 2, 3 here and end this inning about, well, it's going to be 83 pitches when he delivers this one. That would be a nice place to end it after 5.
Fastball. Almost got it by him.
Or 84 pitches if you end it here.
Well, I'll say one thing. We've seen Cahill. We've seen Zarro. Just off the corner. Well, you got to give him something out there. And we have seen Outman. I like all three of those youngsters.
Well, they've got a good foundation for this team. They had some veteran position players with very young pitching.
That ball hit high and deep on a get-me-over breaking ball. And it is 5-3. The 3-2 get-me-over has usually got a tendency to go a long way. And you just roll it up there.
Well, the get-me-over is to be used on the first pitch. But at 3-2, I mean, if you walk Giambi, you got Crosby coming up. But Giambi hits his 403rd. You know he can hit the ball out of the ballpark. There is a slider that stays on the same plane. There's no depth on this ball, and it just came sliding straight across.
There you see Dwayne Wise has moved into center for Brian Anderson. We will tell you why, as there is a chopper. But the 3-2 get-me-over breaking ball leaves the yard, and we're halfway home trailing 5-3. How would you like to win $5 footlongs from Subway? Just be the 500th texter to text Subway to 97999. Go to WGNTV.com for complete info and rules. Jason Nix, Scotty Pides, and Alexi Ramirez here in the bottom of the fifth. We trail it 5-3. That's outside.
We started him off with an overhand curveball, and that's most unusual because he doesn't do that too often.
Jason popped up to center field his first trip. And he's got the catbird seat 2-0. If you're just tuning in, 4 home runs in the ball game. One for us. Jermaine Dye, a 2-run shot in the first inning. Got us off to a 2-0 lead. Then 3 for them. Back-to-backs by Crosby and Powell. Then the solo shot by Giambi as that's back through the middle. So Nix continues to hit the ball hard.
Well, that's the kind of swing you like when you're 2-0 or 3-1. Look for a fastball. If you get it, just air it out. And he hit a bullet back through the middle on a 2-0 fastball. Drove it right by Outman, who was fortunate that this was on his glove side and that he got out of the way of it. And it's a promising start to the fifth inning.
Scotty Pides with Crosby in at the cut of the grass at third. Big gap out there in right center. Pides 1 for 2 doubled into left center in the third inning.
We pan around, we show you the defense, and you can see that if Scotty can pull the ball, and odds are they're going to pitch him away, which is why they're defending him like this.
Breaking ball, fakes the bunt, takes the ball. 1-1 to count.
It's not a bad idea against a left-hander because almost without exception, left-handers will fall off the mound to the third base side. And if you can drag it and get it by him, it's a base hit.
Nix has a pretty good lead. He's 3 for 3 in stolen bases. Yeah, that pitch, a little high neck in. Boston now leading Detroit 10-0 late in that game.
I'm thinking they're in good shape in that one. Josh Beckett, if you weren't with us earlier, took a no-hitter with 2 outs in the 7th inning, only to see Curtis Granderson break it up.
Scotty Pides takes the strike to even the count at 2. Souvenir left side, just underneath the LG Skyline Club seats.
It was very close to those seats. Tavio Dotel loosening in the pen.
And good job by Scotty Pides right there.
Well, he got a sweeping slider away. He was just trying to stay alive. And he was able to get the bat on it without putting it in play.
Watch out. Full count. So a big pitch coming up for Josh Outman.
Brian Anderson had some lightheadedness due to that virus that is affecting a whole lot of this ball club. So that's why he left, and that's why Dwayne Wise has taken his place in center field.
That ball hit hard into left field. Holiday going back, turns around a couple of times. Meanwhile, makes the catch back to track. And that's out number 1.
Jason Nix did it wisely. He got all the way to second base, but he didn't round the bag. He stayed with his foot on the bag, so when he retreated to first, he didn't have to worry about touching it. And we'll watch Nix. Now, he knows that Holiday's not going to be able to throw him out, so he goes just to the bag and then heads back. Doesn't have to worry about rounding the bag and then retouching it before he goes back to first.
That's up high to Alexi, who had an infield single and scored in the first, and he popped up to right in the third. Well, that double in the third by Pides cost him a base hit right there.
They move back a little bit.
Yep.
Holiday was right where he should have been.
And that's popped up into short right center. Kennedy. 2 down. Yeah, we were just 1 pitch away from having a nice start to this inning. 2 on, nobody out.
Here's our forward drive of the game. It came back in the first inning with 1 out. Jermaine Dye went straight away center field. 406 feet. That's our forward drive of the game.
Tried to check it up, and he called it on the strike. Well, beautiful evening here in the beautiful city. A little chilly. And chilly only because here it is, June 3rd.
Yeah, if this was April, you'd say it was a balmy day. But on June 3rd, it's cold.
And that's popped up. Kennedy makes the catch. That'll retire the side. So the leadoff hit by Jason Nix goes for naught. Our Sox here in the top of the 6th inning. Landon Powell, who was 2 for 2, an RBI single and a home run, his 2nd homer of the season.
The bullpen continues to work, so if there's any problems on the part of Richard, he's not long for this one.
One and one to count. Change up.
You can draft, you can develop, and you can certainly train, and you can use both strength training and preventive type of training, but you can't predict injuries, especially knee injuries that happen to big men. That's what happened to Powell. Dwayne Wise is fairly shallow once again in center field. That's where he usually sets up.
2-2.
If he doesn't get Powell, odds are that he won't be around to face Cunningham.
And the 2-2 pitch. He gone. Bullseye.
That's one of the few pitches inside that he's gotten tonight. Castro wants it inside. Clayton throws it there. Ramon buys him a couple of inches.
It's the first pitch he's gotten.
Yeah.
The only pitch he's gotten in there.
And here comes Ozzie. Even with that first out. Ozzie going out, looking like he probably will go to the pen, although he continues to talk, and there's the motion.
Well, he just didn't have his anywhere near his good control tonight. But one thing about it, they've got an excellent mentor sitting on that bench wearing number 56 that they have learned from, both he and Johnny Danks, and that is Mark Burley on how to battle. So he'll depart, and we'll be back.
The best seats available for the June matchups against these A's tomorrow. The Indians, June 5th through the 7th. The Tigers, June 8th through the 11th. Remember, that's a 5-game series in 4 days, including a split doubleheader. To purchase your individual game tickets, call 866-SOX-GAME or visit whitesox.com. And Octavio Dotel comes into the game at 1-1. His ERA, a minuscule 1.04. On for the 21st time. Opponent's batting average 167. That's very impressive. He inherits a 2-run deficit, and his job very simply to hold this Oakland team right there and allow the offense to come back.
That split doubleheader on next Monday, the 8th, against the Tigers. First game at 1, and then the second game at the regularly scheduled time of 7:11. So here's Cunningham with 1 out here in the top of the 6th.
Good high fastball, and he threw it right by Cunningham.
Ditto.
He's got a long swing, and high inside fastballs don't mix. There is no contact up there for the young man.
Well, there used to be an adage in baseball: when you see a guy walk to the plate, looks like he's got a long bat, pitch him inside. You don't hear that talked about very much at all now. And when you see a guy with a short bat, pitch him inside. Because there's a reason he's using a short bat. He gone.
But he doesn't have a long enough bat. Throw him a slider that he can't possibly hit.
That's
This was a dandy.
That's the Peter principle right there.
Look at this one. Cunningham very much overmatched that time against Hotel, who's having a terrific year. His stuff has been good almost every time out this year.
Well, this spring is the best baking stuff I've ever seen him have. As Davis can't get it, he was 2 for 2, ripped 2 singles into left field. Josh was in on the grass right there. Now he's going to back up a little bit to where he's even with the bag. Outfield straight up. Octavio looked like he wanted that pitch. Two and one. And he looks like, where's that? So Pierre Crawford just shrugs back at him. Now somebody's barking, Ozzie barking over there out of the dugout.
Don Cooper wanted one of those pitches.
One of the two of them's got to be a strike. You got to throw it right down the middle now. So the best speed on Oakland aboard via the walk when Octavio thought he had him struck out.
Well, he's going to be going here. This depends on when, and Castro looking over to see if Ozzie wants a pitch out on the first pitch.
So here's Cabrera. He's 0 for 2 with a walk.
And Cabrera, who's used to at times being a 2-hitter, knows what it's like to take pitches with a base stealer on ahead of him. And even though he's leading off tonight, he has that base stealer in Davis.
He was, nice pick by Paulie. There was a nice mention about by Scott Gregor of the Daily Herald today in the paper about his defense, because you and I probably the only ones that talk about it. Nobody else notices it, and you know what? That's a compliment because of the fact that everybody has become accustomed to seeing it, but still it's been outstanding.
If you watch him every day, you do take it for granted. But then you watch some other guys trying to do the same thing at first base, and they either juggle it, they miss it, they let it get by them. And we've come to expect that just about anything in the dirt, Paul's going to pick it.
Oh, there's a toughie right there. There's where you get a bone bruise. Right on that thumb.
Catch it in the heel of the glove.
Yep, right on that thumb right there when they throw it right at the wrong spot. You don't know whether to go up for it or down for it.
Well, you very rarely pitch out 1-0. I would think that Davis would be going here.
There he goes. No chance.
Well, a good job by Nix, because Davis didn't read where the ball was. He should be standing at third base. But Nix played as if the ball was still in the infield.
Davis, like the ball was still in his glove.
Yeah, Davis does look back, keeps the glove on him, and doesn't react to the fact that the ball is in center field.
So this is the kind of out you've got to have right here. When Gotel in the club, everybody in a Sox uniform thought he had him struck out. Nice pick right there by Josh, and they do get the out. So a good job by Octavio. And we'll go to the bottom of the 6th. Jim Thome takes ball one, leading off here in the bottom of the sixth. 5-7-1 for the A's, 3-7-0 for our Sox. Thome has walked and gone out deep to left field, and he's just underneath that one. That is a major league pop-up to center field right there.
Jimmy got this fastball, but it was a little higher than he would like. And at the 92 pitch mark, the bullpen is up and going. Bear in mind, the highest pitch count of any Oakland pitcher this year has been 108.
Well, there's several ways to look at that in the respect of, as I mentioned last night, is progression in baseball. And the way the game has evolved in today's culture is the fact that you cannot win unless you have a good bullpen. I don't care how good your starters are, and I don't care how good your offense is. If you don't have a good bullpen, you lose. It's that simple. So now, if you got to protect your bullpen, the one way to do it is with your starters. And if you're going to have starters that most pitches that one guy has thrown being 108, at that point, they better be very efficient in their pitches.
Well, they usually aren't because they are young, and they usually get to the 100 pitch mark somewhere in the fifth or middle of the sixth. And so the bullpen that started out so good this year is suddenly falling on some hard times because the pitchers are young and they're not allowed to go deep in the game.
Well, that's the only way you can protect your bullpen. As Paulie is. Paulie's been to the plate twice and hit it right on the button both times, once for a base hit, and he scored. But the way you protect your bullpen is with the starters, and then the way you protect your offense is with the bullpen. Because if they're porous, it's going to put too much pressure on the offense, and they're not going to execute. The offense is only as good as the bullpen.
Well, you can look real good getting 6 runs, but not if you give up 8.
That's what happens. He did not go, says Dan Bellino.
And Outman thought that was strike 3 and the at-bat was over.
Now, Jerry Crawford and Ozzie.
I think Ozzie's yelling at him, told him, good call. There you go. Now you're making a good call.
If he thinks that's a strike, he is a rookie. Ball 4 base hit right here, Paulie. One thing, this is a good looking rookie left-hander out there they've got. Pulls the string on him.
When you have confidence in that straight change, at 3-2, you're going to get a lot of swings and misses. And Paul looked back at Jerry Crawford and he wanted to ask him, did I swing at a strike? And I think Crawford said, yes, you did. Take another look at it. That was an off-speed slider, actually. But it was a strike.
Pulled the string, took something off, and there's a strike to Josh Fields, who is 2 for 2. And also has accounted for a run with a takeout of Adam Kennedy on what would have been a double play ball. 1-1 to count. In and out of the LG Skyline Club seats.
Well, once you get in there, it is tough to get out there so comfortable.
Get a lot of nice servings up there. 2-2. Let's pick up a quick one right here, Josh. Tony men reel him in and light him up. And that's out of play right side. Tomorrow afternoon, Mark Burley against Brett Anderson, 21-year-old southpaw for Oakland. And that game, if you can't make it to the ballpark, will be over Comcast Sportsnet. That's a fair ball. Crosby with a good arm. Over to first, and that's a 1-2-3 inning for Outman. The Illinois Lottery, and prior to the game, this is the 24th annual Navy Night, as almost 100 were sworn in to the United States Navy. So help them God.
And they are having a ball here tonight. And Jimmy Gobble's got the ball now. Doesn't have a record. Does have an ERA up over 9, on for the 7th time. He pitched last night, an inning in the third, and threw pretty well. Gave up a hit, a walk, couple of strikeouts, and no runs.
Well, that's why Kenny got him, for the left-handed hitters. Kennedy has walked, grounded to first, and gone out fairly deep to center. Dwayne Wise is shallow out there in center, and we certainly hope that Ryan Anderson, who had to leave because of lightheadedness, he's got that bug, as we talked about. He'll be all right. A lot of guys have had it. Bobby Jenks, I believe, maybe was the first.
He was the typhoid Mary of the team.
Big hack. And the count 2-2.
Here's Bobby, feeling a whole lot better recently. Wouldn't mind a save opportunity tonight.
That is high into Scotty Pod's territory.
Join the All-Star Ballot Punch Party on Thursday, June 4th and Monday, June 8th. Punch All-Star ballots and participate in our pregame parade around the warning track at U.S. Cellular Field. Come to the Gate 1 Plaza when gates open. Vote to send your favorite White Sox players to the 2009 All-Star Game.
So I would imagine this might be his last hitter, in the person of Jack Cust, who is 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts and a ground out to short. Can't afford to give up another one here. 5-3 A's. Bottom of the 10th in Atlanta. Cubs and the Braves are tied at 2. DJ Carrasco, boy, what a pickup DJ Carrasco has been.
Well, he's been good when they've asked him to go long. He's been good when they've asked him to come in and get out a hitter, and he probably will be asked to get out Holiday if Cust gets on.
And we're talking about what a job DJ Carrasco has done. What a job that man on the right has done, Juan Nieves. Former outstanding left-handed pitcher. In fact, he threw a no-hitter when he was with Milwaukee. He has done a tremendous job. Another breaking ball, and that's in and out of the LG Skyline Club seats.
And for whatever reason, and I can't understand why exactly, but you don't see a lot of former pitchers as bullpen coaches. You see a lot of former catchers as bullpen coaches.
Well, we had a great bullpen coach for a long time, and of course, Art Cushman. Art.
Product of Kent State University, by the way.
Well, we miss him. Yeah, as I've said it before many times, and I'll say it again, is here's the 1-2 pitch. It's up high. One of these days, they're going to open a wing at Cooperstown for coaches. And when they do open that door, he's going to be first in line.
Well, I think it's going to happen.
It's got to happen.
I think it should happen.
He gone. Good job right there, striking out Cust, and Ozzy's going to let him go at Holiday.
Well, I thought he would have taken him out if Cust got on, but he threw him a fastball right under his hands and no contact. So now with Giambi on deck.
That's the reason he's going to let him go at Holiday. And just hope that he can keep him in the ballpark. First pitch strike. Holiday has walked, scored, grounded to short, and grounded to second. Whoops. He got away with one right there.
Holiday's consistently looking to take a fastball to right or right center field. And anything off speed, he's trying to pull. This was up and out over the plate, and fortunately, he just got under it.
He's got an approach that reminds me of Jason Bay of the Red Sox.
You know, you could make a pretty good case that the Red Sox are a better team with Bay in left field than they were with Manny, even though Manny was a terrific hitter.
Well, you could, and then on the other side of that page, you can make a case where they're not. That's the way baseball is.
Yep.
He just missed that one, too. Paulie being called off by Nix. And a nice inning right there for Jimmy Gobble, getting Kennedy, Cust, and Holiday. 7th inning stretch, we need 2 to tie.
we hit into the bottom of the 7th inning. It's 5-3 Oakland. Outman is still in the game. You get the feeling that he's there to face Wise at the 104 pitch mark. And then they're going to go to the bullpen. So Dwayne Wise, if you are just joining us, didn't start the game. Brian Anderson did, but he left with flu-like symptoms. Wise looking out at Outman, who will make his 105th pitch.
Breaking ball high to Dwayne. Dwayne Wise. We need to get him cranked up a little bit. Took that pitch nicely for a 2-0 count.
We could use a walk to lead it off.
Ramon Castro, the on-deck hitter.
They most likely would go to that pen.
There's a strike. Every pitch that Josh Outman throws looks like the same motion. Boy, I tell you, he's got a chance to be a good one. Left-handed with the same motion. That ball into left field. Holiday. 1 out. I was looking at his numbers coming in. Outman's 47 innings. He had 40 strikeouts, but he had 21 walks. And that's what I was hoping for to see a little bit tonight. Not so. He's walked 1.
That coming in the first inning, and it came after the 2-run die homer.
Which is typical for rookies.
Just don't have their composure quite yet, but he got out of that first inning with a line drive double play.
That's out of play right side up into the LG Skyline Club seats. But, you know, getting back to the Jason Bay, Manny Ramirez, you can make a case either way. But the reason I would make the case that they're not as good is only because of the fact of what Manny did for David Ortiz mentally. Those two were the best 1-2 punch in baseball.
I just feel at this point that the David Ortiz you're seeing is not the David Ortiz that we saw a couple of years ago because of the physical aspect of what's happened to him. I don't think he's close to 100%.
It certainly doesn't appear that way because he's still a young guy.
And he had the hand problem, but then the knee problem is the one that really did him a great deal of disservice as far as hitting off any kind of firm base whatsoever. He's lost all of his power.
David's only that's foul back. He's only like 32 years old.
You very rarely see a guy that was that strong, to all fields, by the way, lose it that quickly unless it is a physical problem. And with David, I'm pretty sure that it is. He's changed his stance. He's doing everything he can, but it's real frustrating for him.
And that's pop up to right field. Cunningham. So that's the 114th pitch thrown by Josh Outman.
And that's going to be it, as he has the longest outing of any of the Athletic pitchers this year. So Bob Guerin comes out. He wants to go to the pen. And the youngster did a good job.
Indeed, he did. He goes 6 2/3, gives up 3 runs, 2 earned, 7 hits, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. He departs, and we'll be back.
Cellular Field this season with 2 ballpark hot dogs for the price of 1. Visit an All-Star concession stand during the first hour after the gates open. For White Sox individual game tickets, call 866-SOX-GAME or visit whitesox.com. Now Michael Wirtz comes into the game. He was with the Cubs. 2-1 record, fine, .259 ERA, on for the 25th time, and he throws a cornucopia of sliders.
As Jason Nix, 1 for 2, slammed a single right back through the middle back in the 5th inning. And he just missed one to center field, leading off the 3rd. And the 1-0 pitch. There's the strike.
Wirtz has 23 strikeouts, just 7 walks in 24 and a third innings.
This is a bad one right there.
Get ready for the slider, Jason. Look at a fastball in.
Yeah. And he hits it in the upper tank right behind his back. I remember. Oh boy. Bobby Jenks at Yankee Stadium. There's a little chopper 1 hopper out in front of the mound. Wirtz very quickly gets to it, so that is out number 3. A 1-2-3 inning, and we'll go to the 8th. It is 5-3 Oakland. Jason Giambi 1 for 3, a homer. And there's a ground ball. Jason Nix shift on far, sucks it up. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Pretty good play by Nix, who's got great hands at second base. Jimmy Gobble continues to mystify them, but I think that's going to be it for him, as Ozzie is going to make a change, I believe. This ball into the shift, but Nix is there. And that's going to be it for Jimmy Gobble.
A nice job for the southpaw. That's why Kenny got him to get those left-handers out. So he departs, and we'll be back.
Fan Deck in center field. Packages include 150 game tickets, access to the Fan Deck for the whole game, and an all-inclusive food and drink package for the first 90 minutes of the game. Reserve the Fan Deck today. Call 312-674-1000 or visit whitesox.com for more details.
Bobby Crosby has walked, homered, and grounded to second. Takes first pitch strike from Carrasco. Josh about a step back of the bag, off the line at third. And that's just off the plate.
Here you take a look at the defense.
Two and one. Just joining us, Sox with two in the first. Two-run homer by Jermaine Dye. A's came back with two in the second. Tie it. And there's a one-hopper right to Fields. Two down. And the A's added two in the fourth. Take a 4-2 lead. Sox came up with one in the fourth. And then a homer by Giambi in the fifth. The 3-2 getting the over breaking ball from Clayton Richard. He hit it out of here. So here's the switch hitting catcher, Landon Powell, who has an RBI single in the second, a homer in the fourth. That followed on the first two pitches that Clayton threw in the fourth inning, left the premises. And Nix has got him. Nice inning once again for our Sox. Meanwhile, we got some work to do. Got our U.S. Cellular text poll question and answer. Given there are only 3 other teams in this division, does an American League West team benefit from a competitive advantage over the rest of the American League? Ace, yes, said 65%. No said 35%. As right here, top of the order, Scotty Pies to lead it off. Takes up high, ball 1. 5-3 Oakland on top.
Jack Hanahan, who is a real good fielder, checks in the game. Bobby Crosby shifts to first, and Jason Giambi departs.
That's low in the count, 2-1. Big gap out there in right center. That evens the count at 2. Texas beat the Yankees 4-2. Mets at Pittsburgh postponed. That hits him right in the fanny. And that is out number 1.
Wirtz caught a break, and he's going to be okay. It's got to hit that ball pretty hard. Wirtz throws a sinker, gets hit in the back. From the Southwest RoboCam, we'll take a look at one way to play defense. That is, knock it down with your posterior and then throw him out.
He's going to have a Carmine Derriere in the morning.
Might have one of those.
As here is Alexei. Had an infield single in the first inning. He's 1 for 3. Come on, get on for JD, big guy. And the count 2-0.
If you can lay off the Wirtz slider, which is usually dipping out of the strike zone, you've got a pretty good shot against him. You've got to force him to throw you a fastball, and only do that when he's behind you.
Three and 0 the count. Don't help him out. And that's ball 4. Boy, he just flipped that bat back. That is not a good thing to get in the habit of.
Especially with Jermaine Dye that close to him in the on-deck circle.
Jermaine, just a line shot home run over that center field fence. And here comes Garrett. Jermaine now on a 10-game hitting streak. While he goes out there, bottom of the 11th in Atlanta, Cubs are leading the Braves 3-2.
He comes in the game. He's 4-0, ERA 2.23 on for the 24th time. He's got a couple of saves. He's only given up 20 hits and 32 in the third innings. Has 38 strikeouts. This guy can rush it up there.
First pitch strike. He is 25 years old, 6'3", 235 pounds, out of Medford, New Jersey. Plays off that one.
It's an 88-mile-an-hour slider. It's harder than some guys' fastballs.
That's into center field. Davis makes the catch for out number 2.
This is going to be a challenge for Bailey. He has given up 3 home runs. And Jim represents the tying run.
Domi has walked, gone out deep to left field, and then he just missed another one to center. Outfield there in a no double set. Big gap in right center. At 96.
He's only given up 20 hits in 32 2/3 innings. It's pretty good for the young right-hander.
Well, it tells me right there, if it haven't been the first time I've seen him, that he's getting the breaking ball over.
Well, he's got an electric slider. The question is, if you fall behind against a real good home run hitter, do you use the fastball?
That ball in line into center field. Now Davis coming on, and he makes the catch. Nice play by Rajai Davis, and that'll retire the side. We'll go to the 9th. It is still 5-3. First pitch to Aaron Cunningham is taken up and in. Cunningham 1 for 3 with an RBI. Outfield spread out. Bit of a gap out there in left center. And that's into right. Tremaine. He's there. Oh, 2 pitches, 1 out. 5 runs, 7 hits, 1 error for the A's. 3 runs, 7 hits, no errors for our Sox.
Nice running catch by Jermaine Dye, who's measuring this ball all the way. Makes a catch just about 5 feet inside the line.
So here's Davis. He is 2 for 2 with a walk and a stolen base. He also was caught stealing once. Shanks that one. Right off the fist. A's don't adhere as strongly as they did a few years ago about stealing bases. I think they found out that eventually that's going to equate into defense. And that's into right center field. D. Wise makes the catch. 2 gun. If you get guys who don't run that well and you don't care about stealing bases or having speed on your base paths, that's going to segue right into less range for your defenders. But when you got Mulder and Zito and Hudson, you can do anything you want to do.
Well, this year they started out with very young pitching, but a veteran team. And a lot of the veterans have now gone down to injury.
One 1 the count to Orlando, who is 0 for 3. He also has drawn a walk. Oh, yeah. Nice hook right there, and the count 0-2.
DJ threw him as good a hook as he could throw him, but unfortunately it wasn't on the wipeout pitch. It was on the second strike. That's a dandy.
Drop down fastball. Oh, nice. He thought he had it.
Well, he was walking.
Yeah, he was.
He drops down. He wants to keep it away. He gets it away.
It is a strike. Right on the outside corner. It came back. And there's got a trouble right here. And they get him. Beautiful play by Ramirez. And another good inning for DJ Carrasco. We'll go to the bottom of the ninth. Konerko, Fields, and Wise, the scheduled hitters.
Family parties or a night out with friends. Provide first-class service while enjoying White Sox baseball. Reserve a Diamond Suite today. Call 312-674-1000 or visit whitesox.com for more details.
Paul Konerko to lead it off. Paulie, 1 for 3. Takes first pitch strike at 93 from Drew Bailey.
They are grooming Bailey to be a closer for this team.
Well,
see how that works out.
I don't think he's going to be first man out.
No. He's not going to be first man out.
That ball hammered. Boy, Paul is swinging the bat well and coming up empty.
Take a look at this play, and I think that Dan Bellino was enamored with the bare hand pickup and throw, but I don't think that he was out at first. In fact, he was fair to partly safe.
Beautiful play, though.
A wonderful play. Good pickup by Paul. Guerin wasn't real happy, but that's how the top of the ninth ended.
Paul's been to the plate, Konerko, 4 times tonight and hit it right on the money 3 times and only has 1 hit. 0-2 the count to Josh. And once again, a reminder, make your plans to be with us tomorrow afternoon for the finale of this 4-game set. Mark Burley against Brett Anderson, another guy, another rookie we have never seen. And I'll tell you, it's gotten to be the point as that's outside that this is becoming a little almost unbelievable. This will be the 7th rookie we have seen that we've never seen before. And we're going to be 1-6 unless we can do something here.
That's a good slider, and that's the put-away pitch for Bailey. And really, when you put it in that spot, it's pretty close to unhittable because it's as hard a slider as you'll see. He throws it at 88. It has late movement.
That's key. Late movement.
I mean,
late breaker.
It looks like a fastball. You go out to measure it, and all of a sudden it's not there. Plus, it has a little depth to it.
So here's D. Wise. Takes first pitch strike. No, that slider Bailey has is about as late breaking as anybody in this league. And the count 0-2, so we're down to our last bullet. And that'll do it. That didn't take long. A 1-2-3 inning, couple of strikeouts, and this ball game is over. So the A's lose the first one, come back with 2 rookies we've never seen before, win the